Yo, what's up guys? Before we begin the video, if you want to get yourself a replay analysis done for free, check out the description down below. It's got all the information you need to do so, as well as I've got a video on YouTube telling you how to share a replay file or submit a replay file if you want to do so. Check out that video. I will link that down below in the description as well. Today we're doing a replay analysis for Gnome. Gnome says he's Champ 1. He's been playing since 2017 and he's been stuck in Champ for 2.5 years. Usually sitting at Champ 1, high Champ 1, peaking at Champ 3. Said he tries his best not to blame teammates as he knows he can go much further by improving his game sense, and he makes plenty of mistakes. Although he sees his mistakes in his replays, he struggles to think of what he should have done instead. Fair enough, that's very common. Until you see somebody do something or somebody explains it to you, you don't really know that it's an option. Completely fair. That's why you get replay analysis done. He says he's currently trying to get better at keeping the ball close, and he mostly plays 2s and sometimes 1s, and he always solo queues, and he says thank you in advance. So I love it. If you guys submit your own analysis, I would love a little description like that as well when you submit yours. But let's get into it. Playing some 2v2 solo queue. Already forgot what rank he said. I have the memory of a goldfish sometimes. Champ 1. Champ 1. Okay. So diagonal flip kickoff. Not speed flipping. Not speed flipping. Okay. I think your opponent probably did. Yeah, your opponent's speed flipping. So I would say that it's time to learn the speed flip if you don't already know how, and utilize it on Kickoff. Luckily for you guys, I'm currently working on a all-encompassing ultimate sort of Kickoff encyclopedia guide, so subscribe for that in the future. But in the meantime, I do have a speed flip Kickoff. You can check that out. Click the card at the top of the screen, or do a little YouTube search and plenty of guides on how to do a speed flip Kickoff. Definitely more often than not gonna get beat on Kickoff if you're just diagonal flip kickoffing and the opponent's doing a speed flip. So you're at high Champ 1. I think for sure by this rank you should be speed flipping on your Kickoff. Okay, so far not too bad, but I will say your camera settings are very weird. I'm sure you've heard that before if anyone else has looked at your gameplay. Got very high camera settings, and I think they're pretty limiting. Now I could be wrong, it could just be that I'm not used to them and perhaps they wouldn't be limiting, but like for example, this catch here is very hard to look at this and see how much sort of space you need between you and the ball, or the ball and the ground. Like, if you know what I'm trying to say, it's hard to tell how you need to arrive at this ball with these camera settings to catch it. It looks like catching the ball in situations like this, in tight situations like this, would be very hard with these camera settings. And so I think if you were to adopt more normal camera settings like pro players have, with a height between 100 or to like 110 or 120, for example, I think I use height at 110, and then an angle between -3 and -5 is what most people use. That's generally, for most people, the most comfortable camera settings that will give you the most benefits while reducing or giving the least amount of drawbacks. So I would experiment with checking out pro player settings, camera settings, and maybe copying those. Ooh, as I say that, good solo play though. Good job pulling off that ball. Right. I I would be okay with you potentially challenging this if your teammate wasn't following the play. But once you see that your teammate isn't rotating behind you to back you up, if you were to challenge, you can't challenge anymore, because if you get beat, nobody's behind you. So really smart to pull off here. And really good challenge. You gotta know that he's over there, right? He's not anywhere in front of you. And I think, you know, just watching the play earlier, you can tell that this guy's over there for this pass. So you had to go and block that shot, which you did. Really good job. A lot of people wouldn't be aware that that guy was over there. Okay. No need to flip here. Flipping here puts you real far out of position, or not out of position, but it makes you unable to react to what's going on until you land. So notice how he starts shooting while you're still flipping, and it makes it really hard and really awkward for you to get to this. So you could have just stayed grounded and driven. And that's a tough call. If he shoots this far post and you don't flip, it could be bad. I don't know if he can shoot this far post. And he probably can. Okay, we'll let that one slide. It might have been necessary. But that tip still stands for anybody watching, is remember, while you're flipping, you're locked into that flip and you can't change your positioning while you're flipping. So avoid flipping when you don't have to. That way you can react and change your positioning as soon as possible when the ball changes direction. Oof. Okay, teammates throwing a little bit so far, but we'll go on. Missed the boost, but right idea to try to get the boost. And okay, so we kind of threw here for sure. All starts, we missed that boost, but teammate also definitely should have had this. That's a yikers. But that does start with you missing that boost and then passing him the ball because you didn't have boost. So if you had boost, you still probably would have made that touch, but you would have been able to get back to it with your boost. But you can also still just avoid making that touch, right? Even with no boosts. Even with no boost, we don't have to jump there. This ball is going to come up to you, right? It's going to hit this curb and come up into your car. And if you don't jump at the same time, for whatever reason, I don't know why you did, just kind of one of those silly reactions we have when we're not super experienced at the game. You know, you're not really sure why you're doing it. It just feels like the right thing to do, but it's not here. So this ball is going to come up at you, and if you just stay grounded here, don't jump, it's going to chip off your car, go this way, and then you can follow behind it and maybe jump at the ball once there's some space to get closer to it. And we're just avoiding passing the ball straight to the opponent or creating a distance that we can't cover between us and the ball like we do here. Just a small, almost forced mistake. Nice. Okay, wait, what's the play? Okay, so let's see this. So there's really no reason we had to take that touch, right? I mean, look at the field. Nobody's challenging you yet. If somebody comes to challenge you, you're going to be able to see them, right? There's nobody on screen. We're really not forced to take this touch, and we kind of, if we're gonna take this touch, it was kind of a bad touch, right? If you're gonna take this touch, make it towards the boost so that you can easily grab the boost. And if you've done any sort of aerial training packs, you've seen this setup hundreds of times. you know, any flip reset, air dribble, ceiling shot, double tap, training pack has that exact setup in it where the ball is rolling up the wall over the boost and you make a play from there. But once you create this angle like this, where the ball is going into their corner, you've sort of taken away a lot of your threatening ability to make a solo play or to make a play in general. Once the ball is heading towards into your opponent's corner, you've cut off a lot of your angles to make a play. So one, we didn't need to take this touch. We had a lot of time and space. Nobody was challenging us. And two, if we are going to make that touch, let's set ourselves up a little bit better for offense. Good boost steal. Okay, I wouldn't count on that working as amazingly as it did. That was like a really nutty sort of flick you got on that ball. I don't think you're getting that type of a flick consistently. If you are, that's kind of goated. If you've like sort of mastered that little trick, that's kind of decent. I'm not gonna lie. Like that was a pretty decent flick you just got there. I think more often than not, you're not getting that touch. And the better play here would be either to rotate out and just let your teammate come and challenge. Maybe steal the mid boost first so that he doesn't get it, because you don't know if your teammate's going to grab that mid boost or not. So the last thing we want here is to let this guy stay on the ball and get the mid boost. But if you can steal the mid boost and then leave the ball for your teammate, he's got 0 boosts on the other side of the ball, or less boost, most likely than your teammate. And so your teammate's in a good position to win this challenge. So we can rotate out, let our teammate come in for the challenge, you know, more head on. And then you can follow him up if he loses or if the ball shoots out to midfield. Or we can get off on this side of the ball as it comes down towards the ground instead of straight underneath it, and actually just carry it out, right? Carry it away from this guy, let the ball get on the front of your hood and just roll it away from him. Keep your space, probably go to your opposite corner over in this direction, and he can't catch up to you if you do it right. He likely won't chase you because he's low boost, and you get possession of the ball for free. So I think either of those plays are more consistent than the play you went for, and are better, higher percentage plays. But that was a pretty gnarly touch you got, I'm not gonna lie. That was pretty fucking goated. I'm sorry, excuse my French. So what happened here? How did we get scored on? That challenge, is that what it was? Not necessarily a terrible challenge. Good demo by them. Nice. Oh, I wonder if you save this. That's a darn shame. You played that really, almost really well. You positioned to where the ball would go if it got past your teammate, and you were just inches off of being positioned to where you would have perfectly caught that ball. Almost played that perfectly. Nice. Surprised that worked. Teammate get their boost? He must, huh? Mr. McWax somehow misses that boost and your teammate gets it. If Mr. McWax gets that boost, I don't know if you noticed your teammate got that boost. You must have. If you did not, I wouldn't have gone for this, because Mr. McWax should have boost if he doesn't miss that, and then he gets the clear off the backboard, and now you're in this position where nobody's back and the ball's rolling off of their corner, centering towards your net. I'm sure you can envision what I'm saying. Very common play. But yeah, Mr. McWax got that boost. He'd be up here clearing it this way, and if you still had committed for the shot, he'd be beating both of you and it'd be an open net behind you. So just keep that in mind. But I'm guessing you probably noticed that he didn't get that boost, because you've been playing pretty well this whole game. I don't think you would have gone for that had you not noticed it. I have been a pinch pass attempt. Not a bad one, honestly. What I will say about that, though, is like, you've been at this rank for a long time. I want to try to give you the best advice I can to stop being stuck at this rank. And what you should know is a lot of people are not going to be ready for this pass, especially at this rank. One, in 2v2, it's sort of been normalized to not go for passes, like infield passes, just because they're dangerous. If they get cut off, you're both out of the play, committing for that pass. You as the passer and him as the person trying to receive it are pretty much both out of the play once it gets intercepted. That's one reason why passing has sort of been denormalized in 2v2. And so you might not see a lot of teammates ready for passes or even try to go for passes. And so if you're trying to go for a lot of passes in 2v2, that might be one reason why you've been stuck for so long. But two, a pinch pass, on top of it, like just being a pass, the fact that it's a pinch pass is another reason why a lot of teammates at this rank are not going to be expecting that or be ready for that. So I think the higher percentage play here is just going to be to try to make a solo play here. Either catch this ball as it rolls down for a dribble, solo play dribble, or try to make an aerial play out of it if you want to do that. Whatever you're more comfortable with, whatever you can envision, whatever play you can envision making. I think the solo play more often than not is going to be the better play here. So I'm just giving you that tip. I'm not saying that passing here is a bad play. If you were in comms, it'd probably work out a lot better if you were not solo queuing, but you even said yourself that you solo queue all the time, or you only solo queue. And so from just me trying to help you finally get out of champ, try passing less. And if you're gonna pass, pinch pass probably is gonna be like the least expected pass from your teammate. You've picked up a lot of like smart little tricks. You've been watching some high level gameplay. You've been taking this stuff pretty serious. That little fake jump there, like that's a high IQ play. You're a little smart champion player. Fake jump to get him to rush his aerial play. I see you. Take notes, people. Where's our teammate? Yikes. But he had a decent amount of time to like react to the fact that you just got beat and that the net's wide open, but he still chose to go for the boost right here. He could be turning towards net at any point in time there and be saving that. That's tough. Oh my god. Oh, what a demo. Good demo. Yep. Almost did all you really could. This is the only place where we can really look and say that like you could have done something better here. Your shadow defense is a little off here, right? I would like to see you be more side on. So I was not going to bring it up, but once you watch the rest of the play and you don't really see anywhere else where you could have done something better, this is the only place where this could have been avoided. So I'm gonna show you. You're lined up with the ball, and that forces your save on this shot to be awkward, right? You're looking straight up at the ball. It's hard to make the save, and your only option is to hit it off of your back wall where it recenters for the opponent. So you can avoid that by setting up your shadow defense a bit more off to the side, right? We don't want to be underneath the ball when we go up for it. We don't want to be straight in line. Now, if you're defending a 1v1 dribble, if he was dribbling this, pro tip, that can be a good play. Like being perfectly lined up with the ball can be a good play because your car will be hidden behind the ball, right? Their line of sight as they're dribbling is looking in this direction. And if you are right here, he cannot see you. So if you wanted to throw in an early challenge, maybe a backflip challenge, and you were perfectly lined up with the ball, you could do so. Or you just wait, and because he cannot see you, he's likely going to flick it early and you get the save. But in this position, he's not dribbling yet. Maybe if he opts to take the dribble, then you can position like this. But because he has the opportunity to shoot here and he's not yet dribbling, the only thing you could have done better to make your life easier here and give you a better option on the save would be to set up wider, that he's moving in this direction and you're also moving in that direction. That's typical shadow defense positioning, sort of staying parallel to the play, right? His angle is this way, your angle is also this way, parallel to the play, so that once he does shoot, pulls the trigger on his flick, whatever, you can always force it to your corner. That's the goal of shadow defense, is to always be able to force the ball to your corner. And then you don't just pass it back to him off of the backboard and they don't get the follow-up shot. That's just the game. So, do I remember any repetitive errors? I don't think I really pointed out a ton. This was an early forfeit, so unfortunately I don't get to analyze a whole game's worth of gameplay. But recurring mistake, I don't think there was any recurring mistakes. I think it's just your decision making looked pretty good. Mechanics, I'm not gonna lie, your mechanics look a little behind compared to a lot of people that I see at iChamp 1 or who have peaked at Champ 3. Your mechanics definitely look a little behind, and I think your decision making is carrying you. And you know, while decision making is very important and great, you need a combination of both mechanics and decision making to really make it past the plateau that you're at. This is one of those sticking points where it's just a natural sticking point where you have to take both your game sense and your mechanics to the next level in order to make it to the next level. So really, I think you're in a good position. I think you just need to hammer your mechanics a little bit, maybe change up your camera settings. For a lot of people, utilizing pro camera settings makes them feel more mechanical just right off the bat, because they are camera settings that sort of make a lot of mechanics easier. They just make... Now, I see why you would like your camera settings. I do. They give you great field of view. They give you great vision. Hopefully you can maintain that game sense while making the camera settings switch. I hope you can. I think your camera settings in the long run ultimately will limit you mechanically, but hey, it's just a game. If this is how you enjoy playing Rocket League and you don't want to change and you're not that concerned about getting as high of a rank as possible, stick with your camera settings and keep having fun. But you've been playing this game for a long time and you've been stuck at the same rank for a long time, so I'm guessing you want to improve. I would change your camera settings to a professional player's camera settings and just work on your mechanics from there. I think game sense wise, you're set up pretty well. I think you're doing a good job. So that's it. If you guys liked it, do me a favor, leave a like on the video, comment down below something, for example, what you learned, what you think he can improve on, what you agree with or disagree with in the video. Those are some examples of things you could comment, and subscribe for more videos in the future. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a wonderful day, please. Thank you. Bye.